Hey everybody, welcome to the Fancy Werewolf Lounge. For some reason I committed to this bit, and every week I feel like I need to come up with something new. It's a prison of my own design. Hey everybody, welcome.
God damn it.
I'm Josh Weiser, host of the podcast, as well as my other hosts.
Yeah, hey guys, it's me again, Liberty Bell. What's up?
I'm Aloe. Good to be here.
Like the plant.
Yes. And today we are joined by Mr. Zach Hagen. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Very interested in this project you got going on. But first, before we get to that, we usually ask our guests before we start 2 questions. One, how are you trying to stay physically, mentally, emotionally well during this period? And 2, what kind of media are you consuming at the moment?
One, I am trying my best to do so. I don't know about physically, but now that the gyms are opening back up again, with distance playing a part and everything, I'm getting plans together I got my mask and I'm gonna start working out again and everything. But mentally and everything, I've been doing fine. I've been keeping busy with this project that we'll talk about today, as well as just others. And being stuck inside, I can't not do anything. So Otherwise, I will go insane. So I've been keeping busy. And media, as far as that, consuming, just been like, are you talking about like specific, like?
No, just like, are you watching any shows? Are you listening to any music or podcasts or something?
Subscribe to Pornhub, yeah.
Yeah, what's your porn? What's your porn search history look like?
you
top 3. Top 3.
You don't want to see my porn history. I'm going to tell you that much. But no, I just mainly been watching a lot of Netflix and stuff lately. I've gone back and started rewatching the series of Unfortunate Events TV show that they made a couple years, like a year or 2 ago. I love me some Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
I am unafraid to say, as a straight male, I have a man crush on that guy. He's phenomenal. But otherwise, otherwise I've been getting more into my video games lately. Just today, I actually started playing Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is an older game, but it's one that I bought a long time ago and never really got into. Even though I love the AC series, so I was like, why not? I'll get back into that.
Yeah, I never really got into the Assassin's Creed series. What's a good starting point?
So for Assassin's Creed, it's usually that's actually a game where you usually want to start at the beginning. There's a couple spots where you could kind of jump in, I guess, because each Assassin's Creed is one of those series where it's fairly linear, where each game kind of builds over each other. There are a couple games where they kind of veer off and tell different parts of the story. Rogue is actually one of those where it kind of wouldn't be a bad one to play on its own, from what I understand, because it's sort of a splinter. It splinters off. But if you really want to get the heart of what the series is actually about, you want to play the first one.
Okay, all right. So you and me know each other because you started you used to do an open mic at what was it used to be called?
It used to be called the Wedge.
Right, the Wedge.
Yeah, it's now something else.
Yeah, it's some weird kind of
It's called New Adventures.
New Adventures.
That's
yeah,
it.
some
That's
kind
it.
of like what
I went there
Frontier.
for an event once, and because they quote unquote had an arcade,
Yeah.
and
No.
it was a bullshit.
No, yeah, me and Liv.
We do not back them.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Liv went there, and it's basically a truck stop arcade type
They
thing.
had
Like it has the
Big
hunting
Buck
games.
Hunter. They had Big Buck Hunter. It's only one gun.
Oh, jeez.
The other one was just sawed off. Like someone came in there and just fucking stole it. Like it was a bicycle or something with a fucking, what do you call those things? Wire cutters, and just stole the fucking Big Buck Hunter's gun and ruined it for everybody.
Oh yeah.
I thought you sawed off like the sawed off shotgun. I'm like,
will this work?
That's probably what they did with it. And they got it hanging on their wall somewhere, like they could even do anything with it. They're just a douchebag who wanted to have a big buck hunter sawed off shotgun on their
Big
wall.
green gun.
Sorry,
Orange,
I'm
they're
really
usually
passionate
orange.
about
That's
this.
true. Isn't the different colors? One's green, one's orange, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I did some big buck hunting.
Yeah, we should
Love
do this.
Big Buck Hunter, and I'm still pissed off about this a year later.
There is a better arcade in town called Tap Tap.
Yeah, just opened. I haven't been there yet.
I've been inside.
I think it's supposed to be double tap, but they just say tap tap on the wall.
That if it's supposed to be double tap, then that's bad.
Then why not just? Oh God, we're not gonna go into that.
A lot of shooters in there, huh?
I would think.
Actually,
shooter action.
That's why I'm not going in there.
That's the second rule of Zombieland. Double tap.
Right.
In doubt, tap them twice.
Yeah. But yeah, used to run a mic there. I know you primarily as a musician. So what's your musical background? Because you.
So music wise, I have been like kind of immersed in music in general. It's safe to say my entire life. My dad's family are all singers, for the most part anyway. And so like I grew up around singing and
Do you mean singing like in bands or
both in like I never like really participated in like the live music singing until I was in high school, but like I had an aunt, or one of my aunts was did like live singing for like churches and weddings, and I think she had a band at one point. She's now in another band pretty much full time, but she was doing that for a while, and we just sang all the time. Just like you should have heard the Happy Birthday renditions growing up. We were the family that did harmonies with it.
Instead of the confused just ramblings that people usually do trying to match each other.
I just hate when people sing happy birthday to me. It's just like, God.
All right, everybody. One, 2, 3. Happy birthday, dude. That was a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, this hangover is enough. Is torture enough. Please. Gentlemen, I beg of you.
I don't know. I got you a pretty awesome gift, so I feel like I get to annoy you with happy birthday song.
You got me an excellent gift. It is a turquoise, which is my favorite color, shake machine. And now my milkshake does bring all the books to the yard. Whereas before, they stayed on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I think you need to get an specific exterminator for that kind of problem.
I did. It's called the 110-pound German Shepherd.
That'd do the trick.
But Zach, yeah, your family is full of singers, and how does that? When did you start getting into playing the guitar?
Playing the guitar, I got into that. I think my junior senior year of high school. So like somewhere between 07 and 09. So my dad has always played guitar for years, and so we always had these acoustic guitars lying around the house that he saved from when he was a kid. And so like I never really got into playing it, but this part is always a little embarrassing, but it's true, so I'm gonna keep it. I always tell the truth on this one. So growing up, when I was in high school, I was one of those kids that I thought like I was actually really good at Guitar Hero when it first came out, and I thought that made it super awesome. Yeah, cue the South Park episode. Yeah, but it was sad. I got really good really quickly, and so
I love that
but
it's
whenever
kind of. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fully aware of how sad this actually is. But whenever I would go multiplayer with my friends, I always played the bass parts, and I always thought that was fun. So I told my mom, like, I want to learn how to play bass for real. And so and I already played drums at this point. I had learned to play drums when I was in middle school because I was that kid. I always beat on random things in a rhythmic fashion, like when the radio was playing. So my mom got me a drum set when I was in middle school, and I told them like, well, I want to learn how to play bass now. So they bought an old bass guitar from a friend of ours, and after I took some lessons in bass, I'm just like, you know what? I might as well just learn how to play guitar. So I just taught myself how to play guitar from there. Because transitioning from bass to actual guitar is not that difficult. They're pretty closely related. So
right, I would assume
don't feel any shame in it. That's how you see my two basses. That is the exact same thing as how I got into the bass. I never switched over to the guitar. Just love the bass too much, but yeah, Guitar Hero. I got good at the fucking bass parts. Yeah, I was good at it, man. I can tell you the song. It was War Pigs.
Oh, that's a good one.
It was what?
It's the one that made me. I had because I was jamming out to it too hard, and you feel like you're just faking it. Yeah, if you're going too hard, feeling too much, then you realize this is just plastic and not real. After a while, I had to get the real thing, and it was a.
Remember
War Pigs?
Yeah, and
not most of it. It's a pretty hard song to play, but I can play a lot of other songs though.
Yeah, remember that 5-year period where like Guitar Hero was the biggest video game ever? Like I don't know, I feel like that
there was a whole band.
Rockstar.
Rockstar. Yeah.
What was it called? Rockstar.
Oh, there was Rock Band.
Rock Band. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they actually made a version called Rocksmith, which you could actually hook up a real electric guitar,
right,
and try to play it. I tried that, and granted, I can play guitar. I like shred or anything like that, but I mostly just play rhythm. But I tried this. I'm like, damn, this is tougher than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I actually can play some of these songs, and it's like, how is this difficult?
Yeah.
So needless to say, I didn't keep that game.
I wasn't even good at Rock Band or Guitar Hero, so
I was a beast.
So that was a
part though.
That was
add it to the list of things that Al is great at.
That was a period in like video games that seems kind of weird that everybody was trying to do the controller.
Stop it.
You know what I mean? Like, we had kind of cornered that market and everybody was trying to play catch up. But I guess they're trying to do that with VR now. So
yeah, and no one's coming close to that. I want to try the real thing. Yeah. I heard it crazy.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of like how with movies, like 3D was this huge thing and everybody kept trying to push 3D, and now I don't believe any theater does 3D showings anymore.
I don't think I haven't seen any for a while.
They did.
Oh yeah, they did for a while in the late 2000s.
When did they put in 3D? Yeah. They were doing 3D last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they
really
doing it. It's just theaters are closed now. It's the only reason why. Yeah, big like action like.
What was the last one I saw? Deadpool was
a bunch of kid movies that had it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one I saw was I I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was years ago.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, which is such a great movie. I actually saw that in 3D too. I got really drunk. And
Well-
it was a bad idea to try and watch a movie in 3D and while drunk.
I saw Wonder Woman. The only movie I saw in theaters with 3D was Wonder Woman, and I feel like I didn't get the best experience because of it. I don't know. But
I don't prefer 3D movies, but they are still making them. I think
Okay,
like,
yeah.
kids movies, especially like, I don't know.
I know.
Well,
I know. Toy Story 3 has like a 3 version, but
Toy Story 3.
yeah, I believe it was Toy Story 3 anyway.
But that was in the time when,
yeah.
like post Avatar, like right after Avatar, like everybody was trying to, like every movie theater had like half its screens being 3D. Like this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely not as big as they thought it was. Same with like video games that, anyway, that's a,
Yeah, when I went to Guardians of the Galaxy, I got really drunk in the movie theater. And
being
it was
drunk.
awful. I had to take I'd already seen the movie like 3 times in theaters because I freaking loved it. But I went with a friend and he was like, well, let's buy a bunch of shots, like the mini shots. And we just got really drunk and it was like disturbing. I had to take the glass off. And watching
Jesus.
a 3D movie without the glasses on is also terrible. It's just a bad deal.
I almost watched a version of Night of the Living Dead in 3D, and it looked fucking terrible.
The best movie I ever saw in 3D was Terminator 2 at Universal Studios. And
that actually seems like it'd be
blew
like a
my
fucking
mind.
amazing experience.
My whole family went to it, all 5 of us, and out of the movie theater. And I'm like, you guys, let's literally just go watch it again. And everybody was like, no, fuck you, Liberty. And that's like serious regret of mine. Like, I'm not kidding you. It was freaking insane. It was literally mind blowing. And it was like bullets were going straight through your head and shit. It was fucking crazy. Like, it was crazy. By far. They still have it there, actually. Like, if you go to Universal Studios, you have to see Terminator 2 in 3D. It's freaking incredible.
I don't think anybody's going to Florida for a while.
I don't think anybody should go to Florida ever, but
2 of my best friends live in Florida. One
Did
of
they
them
shut it
has
back down?
a pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Disney
can we
World,
officially
whenever
just
they opened
cancel
up?
Florida? I think we can just.
No, we can't because my buddies live
All
there.
right, all right.
Not by choice, for work.
I've
Right.
got family that lives down there, so
Yeah, my family lives there in the winter.
It would just be a new Florida. I mean, Kentucky can do it. I don't know. Somewhere.
Maybe.
Oh God, what would be the new Florida? What's another? Arizona? I feel like a lot of shit goes down in Arizona.
Yeah, but it's a different thing. It's on the east side of the country. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Different enthusiasms.
So Zach, tell us about this project because I'm very interested in like audio dramas and people trying to do that art form today because it was an art form, a very popular piece of media back in the 40s 50s when radio was a thing, and you're doing something similar to that. You want to explain it?
So my project is called Wasteland Active Radio, and if anybody familiar with the Fallout game series will be able to it should be an immediate hook, or at least immediate interest because it's what it's based around. It's because it's sort of a I joke nowadays, but it's actually quite true. It's sort of glorified fan fiction, but it's just audio instead of written. But it's a pure audio drama. We've got multiple characters. We have 4, counting myself. We have 4 full-time non-guest actors that jump in and out of the story. As well as a multitude of guests that jump in every now and again. But it's based around a ghoul, which I don't know how familiar y'all are with the Fallout series.
I'm pretty familiar. I played it.
I mean,
Okay.
I played
Every part of
70. I played Fallout 4 a little bit,
Okay.
but
Well, I guess for just to brush, especially those watching who may not know, ghoul is a human being that has been exposed to so much radiation that mutated, and they've basically become like super shriveled and like they can survive in radiation for a really long time and they live for hundreds of years. They severely lucked out. The only real downsides is that they look hideous and they sound like they've been smoking for 20 years.
and you do incorporate that voice throughout it.
Yep. My co-creator, all of my cohort, he does the voice of our main character.
Okay.
We call him Crispy, and this was like an idea we had years ago. I used to work at a pizza joint with him, and we were in.
Who's the co-writer?
His name is Jay Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and but we used to we worked at a pizza joint, but we just were in the back washing dishes. So after a while, you have to learn to entertain yourself the best way you can, because I was super monotonous. So we would just make up stories and do weird voices and shit with each other like the entire time. And we made up these characters and everything. And one day we're like, this was like 5 or 6 years ago, and we're like, let's try to do something with this. This is fun. Like I already had the technology to do some recording stuff. And I was like, let's try it. So we did, and it bombed so hard. We made 2 episodes, and I think those episodes are still online, if I'm not mistaken, through a website called Podomatic. And but we tried to make it like an actual like radio show. So I tried to find copyright-free music from like the 40s or 50s, because that's like the Fallout aesthetic. And like he would talk in his cool voice and everything, and then he'd be like, all right, let's play some music. And these episodes were like 30 minutes long. And we launched 2 episodes, and the biggest feedback we got was like, it's really good, but you need to have less music, because it takes away from the show. And and I'm like, go ahead.
Oh, like it doesn't mesh well with the flow of the show.
Yeah, it basically did the exact opposite we thought it would do. And so we were working on a 3rd episode, and life got in the way, and we're just like, you know what? We're done. We're not gonna do this. We didn't talk to each other for a while, not because like we disliked each other. I think it's just life. We kind of went our separate ways for a little bit, but we met back up again like a year or 2 ago, and we're like, a podcast that we're doing, let's try that again, just now that we kind of know what the hell we're doing. And he's my lead writer, and I still take over all of the tech stuff. And we took a completely, not a completely different approach, but we took a fairly different approach to it this time around. We took out all that music aspect, and we focused on story. And we've written, we have 2 seasons out right now, and we just launched our 3rd. If this is actually going to be our final season, but we're planning on making it about double the length of our first 2 of the previous ones.
All right, cool. And I've listened to a few episodes, but is there like an overarching story to it, or is it interviews with different kinds of characters from what would be a Fallout universe?
There is an overarching story. So basically, our first season focuses primarily on Crispy finds this. So I guess in what we call season 0, Crispy found this old radio station in the Midwest, and he like fixed it up because he's a radio technician. And he just kind of made this show. But in now season 1, it's basically about him working, like trying to take back the radio station away from these raiders that chased him out, working with a mercenary group called the Daring Dashwoods to do so. And they basically work together. And after they take back the station, they build a community around this radio station, because the area that the wastelands that they live in is inhabited, but there's not very many actual communities. So they're trying to like build a settlement, people together, and it's basically pretty much all of season 1 is just about them doing that. We have a couple different characters that come in. I think pretty early in season 1, my main character comes. His name is Atlas. He's a super mutant, and we have a Protectron named Bucket, who he is our weather person, but he has bouts of severe depression and existential dread. So like he'll just be talking, and all of a sudden he's just like, kill me now. But it's a robot. So
right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Protectron is a robot.
So how influenced are you of like from other podcast radio shows? Because listening to what I did, if does feel like you were inspired by something like Night Vale, that kind of has the same format.
Yeah, we get compared to Welcome to Night Vale a lot, and I'm quite flattered that actually. The writing.
If you're going to be compared to anything, you might be compared to the most popular thing.
Yeah, that's true. I think so. The writing style is influenced by Welcome to Night Vale. I can say that. I don't have much to do with the writing. I kind of let my cohort do his thing on that. And subsequently he kind of lets we give each other as much freedom as we can. And then we work together to tweak and build from there. It's a system that we found worked. But yeah, I do know that the writing is fairly influenced by Welcome to Night Vale and those types of shows. So you are definitely not far off.
Right. So yeah, well, what I'm trying to getting into this post-apocalyptic dystopian kick right now. I just watched a movie called The Warriors of the Wasteland with Fred Williamson. What kind of shit, like, other than Fallout, like, is that like a genre just in general you're into, or is it because of Fallout specifically that you really wanted to do something like this?
This project in particular, Fallout was a major drive behind it. I've played pretty much all of the games, and I've liked and I've loved that series for a really, really long time. So like I enjoy the post-apocalyptic genre and stuff like that. But when it came to building this project out, it was just kind of like, hey, you like Fallout? Yeah, so do I. Hey, let's do this thing. Right. And we're like, okay, sure, why not? And then it kind of just evolved on its own. So
right. Well, speaking of the apocalypse, I guess we're going to be sacrificing children soon.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about.
Yeah, schools
not
are
only
opening.
that, like Yeah, Kim Reynolds is forcing everybody to
Yep.
reopen the schools and be in-person learning. But like in teachers' contracts and stuff, it literally like forbids them from striking or any sort of. It's it's really an ugly thing.
Wait, they're not allowed to strike because
Like in their contracts, they're not allowed to strike or they'll forfeit like all salary, and they'll be terminated, and they won't be able to be rehired for over a year. Things like this, like I don't have a list of it. I'll look it up here quick. Alex Conyers, who we had on the show before, he's a good friend of ours. He posted his contract, but I've seen all sorts of things like that about how they're going to punish and penalize anyone. It's just a mess.
Yeah, and it's fucked up because we're still in the middle of it. Like things haven't calmed down, and putting kids back into school is just gonna accelerate everything. And it's weird that we're like the government is trying to. I don't know. I don't want to say like it feels like they're trying to escalate it because I think it comes more from a place of stubborn ignorance than anything else. So,
a lot of it's just a lot of it is economy driven,
right?
And I mean, because it's just like, I mean, I'm not a political expert. I will say that right out front, but so I don't pretend to be. I do know that a lot of it is like they're trying, because a lot of parents now have to, even if they stopped working, or even if their jobs didn't lay them off, a lot of parents had to stop working because they have to take their kids and homeschool them or whatever. And so it's like they're trying to get the kids to go back to school so that way the parents have to go back to work. And it's like, but it's like, well,
and meanwhile, we have more corona cases than ever before.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
it's like
the worst that it's like. Okay, I found that list of things. Teachers are not allowed to strike, or we can be fined or jailed. It's also certain if we quit, we will even retain our teaching licenses. The governor can force us to hold in-person classes during a pandemic. And he said, I put myself into tens of thousands of dollars in debt for this privilege. But here's what the penalties are. Fine of up to $500 for each day of the strike. Possible imprisonment in county jail for up to 6 months. Immediate
whoa.
from work.
They can be arrested for this?
For 6 months. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Immediate and this is all public employees. This would be like city officials or any government job, basically. Like, I think even technically my mom, because she's for the university, same sort of scenario. Immediate termination of work, ineligible for reemployment by the same employer for 1 year. So they're just railroading them, basically. And that's like, even like county, like hospitals and stuff like that, it's like county funded, same, those news and stuff, they could not quit their job or strike and things like that. Like, they pretty much just fucking them with no lube, I guess.
That's why you always read the terms of service before you click that little checkbox.
And then also,
I mean, this isn't like
another policy.
This isn't like iTunes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he also posted like part of his contract that says basically like he does like put in a resignation. They likely will not even accept his resignation unless they can find a quote unquote suit replacement, which that's not going to fucking happen right now.
No one's going to start being a teacher during all this.
They don't even have to look for a replacement legally in the policy. Like, that to me is just mind blowing. Like so basically he would have to find his own placement, and they still could say that the person is not suitable because the board or whatever are the people to decide if the replacement is suitable or not in order to accept somebody's resignation. So it's just like, holy fuck, man. They just like literally, they have no options. So, you know, got to get on the phone calling resident dickhead in chief Kim Reynolds and tell her to fuck right off. Fuck you, Kim. Sorry. I say fuck you, Kim Reynolds, like 5 times a day. It's like a mantra.
Wait, what?
It's like a mantra.
It's her motto. It's her motto now.
Fuck Kim Reynolds. Yeah, it's just, oh, come on. Again?
Kitty.
Shonda.
Yeah, Shonda's getting, it does, wants attention. But yeah, it's well, this whole, like, there's also a thing of like businesses having to open up again, because you know because everything's open again, insurance won't pay out. So like there's that. There's also not having to pay into you're distracting me, babe. Pay into unemployment and stuff like that. Like it's and I've said this before on the show, and I probably keep repeating myself, but the biggest problem is like we even before Corona, we didn't have a system in place to handle a pandemic like this, like economically, and that's like something I don't see changing.
We have this place. How about let's start taxing the churches. Why the hell do they get $79 billion worth of taxes that come off those motherfuckers' back?
Yeah, I heard that about the Catholic Church.
That would solve everything.
Yeah, got like a lot of fucking money. And the thing is, like, the Catholic Church, almost specifically the Catholic Church, doesn't need money. Like, as an organization, as like a global organization, they are rich as fuck, and they are very influential. So, like, they have an entire fucking city. So, and this is
that costs a lot. Costs a lot to maintain that city. Have you seen those ceiling shit, man? That's not cheap, man. It's got daily running costs. You got to heat that place, man.
I've seen.
And they got all those lawsuits for touch kids, man. It's
not cheap. They guilt people into giving them their money for free.
Yep.
Because otherwise, God doesn't love you.
They gotta. You seen the building's got gold roof. They got to keep that drip going somehow.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
oh my, yeah. It's because I do think like there is and I feel like this is especially true for different sects of Christianity, specifically Catholicism and even evangelicism, is like very money oriented, and it's just really fucked up. And this isn't like me coming down on a specific religion or not, but there is like a weird, like, especially in America, if you look at evangelism, they kind of control a lot of what happens in Washington. Like, a lot, like it's what happened in the 80s. Like, I'm watching right now Black Monday. I'm rewatching Black Monday, which is a fantastic show about 80s and the walls. Oh, God damn it. Sorry, Jesus. And the second season has a lot to do with that televangelism and how that kind of gripped, especially during the Reagan era, America and political influence. And
they say that evangelicals were a key part of Donald Trump getting elected once he tapped Mike Pence, because he's their, dude that they would want close to the, to the president's ear. So that's what's keeping him in office. Really, they love him the most, especially this.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is, and this isn't conjecture. I do believe that this is almost fact. Evangelicals pretty much are are going with Donald Trump because they think he will bring about the apocalypse or do everything that, like, it's weird, like, how into the apocalypse evangelicals are, because they're the only reason, like, they support Israel is because of Revelations. If it wasn't for that, like, you know, I don't think they would be sticking up. They'd be saying anything about anti-Semitism. So that's my screed on that. Sorry, everybody. And again, I'm not coming down on religion. I'm coming down on the organization of religion.
Right.
But yeah, it's all. Oh, come on. Anyway, so
podcasting with cats.
Huh?
Said hashtag podcasting with cats.
Yeah, let's rename it to the Fancy Cat Podcast Lounge.
That's a little wordy. That's a little, like, too much for a title. Like, even like Fancy Werewolf Lounge is a little is a bit of a mouthful.
Show.
Huh?
The Fancy China Cat Show. She's the real star.
I think so. I think that's pretty much true. So, anyway, what else have you been working on, Zach? Are you trying to do some more music or?
Yeah. So I am one of those people. I have my hand in multiple cookie jars, even though none of them are producing cookies. So music wise, yeah, I have a band, we're called Zachary Daniels Band, and we are actually working on a new 5-track EP. We were actually working on this before lockdown, and so, you know, as to be expected, it slowed us down tremendously. But we are like 90% done with the EP, and I think we kind of talked about the other day, and we agreed that we're just gonna say fuck it and release it anyway. So hopefully it'll happen the next like couple months.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's everything that I've heard so far. I mean, it sounds really cool. For those who are not familiar with my band, we play like a pop rock, alternative rock style. People have told us we sound very 90s, early 2000s, which is good because that was the goal. But
well, kind of like what? Like a grunge thing, or like an REM, or Smashing Pumpkins?
Kind of like a what? There's a band that we get kind of like a Third Eye Blind.
Okay.
Kind of, yes. It's definitely more in the pop realm.
Right.
But we do have a rock edge to it. Like we've had a couple of our songs played on Rock 108's Noise from the Garage.
Cool.
But we've also been played on IP. So it's, you know, there's a range. But we're a 5-piece. Well, I mean, right now we're a 4-piece because we're looking for a new drummer. But as a group, we're a 5-piece. I play acoustic guitar, and I'm lead vocals, an electric guitarist, a keyboardist, a bass guitar, and drummer. When, you know, in a perfect world. But we have one album out right now. It came out not this past March, but the March before. It's been out for a little over a year. It's called Evolve.
Can buy that.
That can be purchased on our Bandcamp. It's Zachary Daniels, ZACHARY Daniels.bandcamp.com. Or if you are in the Waterloo Cedar Falls area, you can actually now buy it at the Spicoli's gift shop.
Awesome. Where is that at?
That is in the Cedar Falls Industrial Park. It's it's over by Viking Pump, directly next to Shirt Shack.
Okay.
Wait. I haven't heard this. Like Spicoli has a gift shop?
It's like, okay, so what's it called now? There's Rock Museum and gift shop. So they like sell band merch, and they have a bunch of like memorabilia from some of the craziest and coolest shows that I've ever been to, the Reverse Spicoli.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you know more about it, Zach. So.
Yeah. So yeah, Spicoli's, because I work there. I'm their social media manager and web administrator.
Oh, okay.
And we basically we're out of business as a bar restaurant. COVID made sure of that. Yeah. But we have kind of restructured ourselves, and yeah, Liberty is right. We've changed the name, so it's now Spicoli's Reverb Concert Hall and Rock Museum, and we've focused a lot of our effort on doing music live streams, so that way we can, because people can't safely go to live music, so we're going to safely bring live
especially
music
not indoors. Outdoors, maybe, but
yeah, exactly. So we started doing that, and we've done a couple live strems recently.
You just had Illegal Smile?
Yep.
Right? Yeah,
this past Thursday, we had Illegal Smile come through, and
they've been practicing outside. I think it's like kind of a test to, the perseverance of these groups that are local and stuff. Like Fret Not too. I'm pretty close to Courtney, and she's always posting on Snapchat that they're doing outdoor practices and stuff. And it's really cool how resilient y'all are. Keep it up, because we need music. We need live music.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but on top of the live stream, like our main focus. On top of that, we've also opened up a gift shop, and the beginnings of we're trying to open up a history of like a Cedar Valley history of rock music in particular, but of live music. So we've got kind of the starts of that, and a lot of like music memorabilia. But for the gift shop, we are selling art, like physical art made by local artists. And we have merchandise from local bands, including the Zachary Daniels Band, or the ZDB, as we like to call ourselves. It's a lot easier to say, but that you can find our CDs there. We have T-shirts and stuff like that. But there's also like all sorts of fun, like little knickknacks and stuff like that. We have these like, some of my favorite. We have like these model, like they're like model drums and guitars and stuff. You can like, if you fold them out, and they're like actual models, and then you can like play them and stuff. It's super cool.
Nice.
There's like a bunch of stuff that are just like, they made this. Yeah, I want it. Like,
it's pretty awesome. I like hearing about this, because Spicoli's was always like a cool place and kind of like this mainstay in Cedar Valley music, and I was kind of bummed when I heard it was shutting down, but I'm glad that it's still going in some form right now. Yeah,
and hopefully by next year, because our current place, we're only set up for the year, so our plan is by early to mid next year to be in a new spot. And we're still figuring all that out, but
and it would be going back to its usual like format, or
to a degree. Basically, we hope to find a place with a lot more parking, so that way we can have outdoor shows, where we can, but then also we're going to be going back, like once we can safely do so, we're going to go back to our previous format with the bar restaurant, have like, live shows, but
Yeah.
we're also going to try to continue with the live streaming and keep our gift shop and stuff like that. So we're basically trying to like merge the two in the middle with this new location, wherever it may be.
Right. Aloe, did you ever perform at the Old Spicoli's?
Several times, yes.
Oh,
Yep, different projects.
right.
But yeah, I loved that stage quite a bit. So.
Right. Well, I was sorry, Zach. I was asking Aloe because.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay. 'Cause, yeah,
I
but
don't
I
think
think all
we
of us.
know you performed there, Zach.
Like
I
the three.
just heard a question and I answered.
Yeah, Lib, me, and you, I know have done stuff there, but
Yeah,
Aloe,
I performed there a couple times. MC'd a couple shows there and stuff too, and done some open mic stuff and showcase style stuff. But honestly, like me, it's definitely not my favorite venue as far as comedy goes. But any opportunity we have around here to get on stage is a good one. So, more than anything, I've been going to the Coolies when it was, the Reverb down on Main Street all the way up till this for the process. And I love live music. So, I'm glad that they're still doing something. They're going to get back to do more and, obviously fully support it. I think that, it's just a shame. Really, it's just a shame.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we're in agreement that it wasn't a great place for comedy, but for live music, it was fantastic. It was a great like club setup.
Like that. It's like family. It's like going. It's weird. It's like going to like a family reunion. Like you go in there, you're going to see the same people who've been working there forever that are like, just people that you love, that you've been around forever, that love the music.
So Liberty. So what you're saying is, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I have so many fond memories in there too. Back in the day, I don't know if you know about this, but they used to do an event every week on, I think it was Wednesday nights, and it was called Bar Olympics. And so like play, it was like everybody would randomize. You'd get a randomized partner by drawing cards, like playing cards, and then you'd play 3 games of darts, 3 games of pool, and 3 games of foosball. And like you tallied all your wins up. It was basically like tournament style, but not really. And there would be like a winner determined. Well, everybody paid $5 to get in, but for your $5 entry, you got a free shot. It was basically like you bought a shot to play.
Right.
But then, you're there all night because you're playing 9 games and you're having fun. And then like the winners take the pot, of the money. So it was fucking fun. I miss those days. Like, and it was fair because unlike a lot of other tournaments or like with billiards, I play pool or darts, 9 times out of 10, you pick your own partner or whatever. Well, a lot of people have an upper hand immediately because of that. So this is kind of fun because it was randomized. And I miss that. I wish they never would have quit that. That was a lot of fun. I met a lot of, and honestly, it was a good like social mixer because you would play with people that you'd never met before. So, you'd make new friends, and Spicoli's has just done a lot for the community, and music makes people happy. Comedy, and I've said this before, like comedy is amazing. Like, the greats, you buy their album and you probably listen to it maybe once a year or something, but like with music, like I've gone through CDs to the point where I had to rebuy the CD because I listened to it so much, it's just, I feel like music is the universal language for humanity. Everybody everybody loves music, and we may not like all love the same types, but music really fucking moves people. So, Coolies is definitely going to miss in our community, and I think that people will rally around trying to get something going for them again. I was like, they gave it their fucking best effort with the GoFundMe and everything, and they raised $10,000, and then this fucking shit happened. So, god damn it, sucks.
Yeah, it's been nice with we've had a lot of help throughout like this recent transition. We cleared out when we moved, we cleared out pretty much everything within, I think, a matter of like 3 or 4 days. And because we had just like so many people come and help lift all the heavy shit. And there's a lot of heavy shit. That's the downside of live entertainment, as I'm sure y'all know. Because they can't make a light speaker to say lives, but there's just so many people from helping lift all that big stuff to helping to clean, and so we made quick work of everything, which was super awesome to see. But yeah, I can tell you that we've got plans in the works. And it's I can tell you we're not anywhere near done. So
well, good.
Awesome.
Good. I think like having this conversation, I'd like to do an episode just like just strictly about the music scene in the Cedar Valley, because I like music. I like live music, but I'm not like somebody who's goes out a lot. Had gone out a lot to watch live music. I think the last live show I saw was a couple of years ago. Was the Surf Zombies at Spicoli's.
That was a good show.
Yep. Yeah. And
Always a good show with the Surf Zombies.
Yep. I'm the guy who bought their first vinyl record. Like they even said yeah. But
I know that's because my sister's boyfriend Ian Williams is the Surf Zombies.
But yeah, it's between that and other venues here and all the bands that have come out of here. I think it'd be interesting to just do a show about that. But
yeah, well, last night Katie and the Honky Tonks played at a golf course in Rhinebeck outside.
Can you say that again? You kind of cut out in the middle of the.
I said some people are still, there's live music happening. Last night, Katie and the Honky Tonks, they played at that golf course. I don't know what it's called, Oak Leaf or something in Rhinebeck, Iowa.
Was that your friend I met that one night at the wedding? Or
which wedding?
The wedding that I went to pick you up at the reception.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Cool. I know a couple of them. Good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good people. But I was gonna go, but I'm sorry, it was too hot for me. I couldn't handle it.
Alla, what's your live music experience? What's your you got any stories of shows?
Last concert I went to was a Face concert at was in Iowa City.
Ghostface?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm
Nice.
familiar with
that. That was like two or 3 years ago, I think. It was a while ago.
Right. Where was that at? Which venue? Is that the what was it?
The big one. Right downtown. I don't know what it's called. It's a theater.
Oh, okay. All right.
If it's a theater, you might be talking about the Englert.
Okay. I think I know.
Downtown, right by on Lynn Street, I think it is, or off of Lynn
Right.
Street.
Yeah, it's probably the Englert. I only know that because I saw Burnham play there a couple years ago.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that must have been a cool show.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Bo Burnham is
I
one of
went
those.
to it. Last show I went to in Iowa City, saw Neutral Milk Hotel.
Oh
and
shit!
it was a great fucking show. I had a fucking panic attack, you guys.
Sucks.
So it was in this auditorium, and the ceiling was like super low, like it was like a 10-foot ceiling, and there was like, I don't even fucking know, hundreds of people in there, and I was like in the middle of the pit, basically, well, everybody's cramming there, you know, and I was like, my best friend left me to go to the bathroom, and I was like paranoid about her being able to get back into to like find me, and because everybody there was like 6 foot tall plus, and I was like, I felt like I was like in a show full of giants.
Giants love them some neutral milk hotel.
Seriously, and the weird thing was too, like the stage was like not even raised up, so you couldn't fucking see the band. Like I could not see the band at all, and it was
What
just
fucking
like,
venue was this?
Stop it. I don't know. It was like on campus. It was like an auditorium though, and so it started to get like really fucking hot in there because there were, you know, just hundreds of people, and the ceiling's like literally, I could run up and touch the ceiling, and practically, and I couldn't even see the band, and I was like my friend had gone missing, and I started to freak the fuck out. So I'm like, I gotta get out of this pit. So I just like went to the back of the room, and I had like probably 20 different friends who were there, you know, and I'm just sitting against the back wall, or just like I'm like walking to sit there, and my ex-boyfriend Joe Munson's brother Travis was walking through the door, and he had like 6 bottles of water in his hand. Everybody was just dripping sweat, you know, and he like took one look at me, and he's like, "Oh my God, Liberty, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay. I'm gonna pass out." And he was just like handed me 2 bottles of water, and I'm like just like sitting back there like trying to find something to fan myself with. I think like literally I just like a panic attack. It was fucking terrible. My best friend came back in, and I like hollered for her, and I was like, "Dude, go buy me an album so I can fan. I'm having a fucking panic attack." And I've never had another panic attack since then. It was fucking terrible. And then the album she bought me, I already owned.
The worst part of it all is that
this is the worst. And I was totally sober. Like it wasn't like I'd been drinking or like on any sort of extras. Like it was just a bad deal.
Like, well, at least this album isn't completely useless.
It was like by far the most awkward venue I've ever seen a show in though. And I've been to, I don't even know how many concerts. Like
the way that you described it, it sounded like it might have been at the Yacht Club.
No, this was a huge on-campus auditorium that held hundreds of people. Not the Yacht Club. I've been to the Yacht Club a time.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know I can't remember even what the place was called. But it was still a freaking super show though. Like it was a great vibe. But it was just, I mean, literally, it was like, imagine walking into a shoebox. It was that, you know, where you just felt super closed in, and there were just hundreds of people, and you couldn't even see the band. Like you couldn't, unless you were probably in, you know, the front couple rows, you couldn't see the band. It was crazy.
Wow. Well, what, you know, talking about venues, I'm now curious, what is the weirdest venues you guys have you know, performed in? Like, what's the most like alternative venues you had? Because I think like right now everybody's trying to figure out digitally alternative venues, but like they're, you know, I always find it cool when like people like, oh, I did a set at this taco truck or whatever. Yeah. So
I just did one outside recently last Sunday. It was outside a bar. The only thing
outside of the bar
was it was in the afternoon, so it was hot as hell.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the last episode.
Yeah.
When everybody thought I was being a dickhead.
Wait.
We don't need to go into it. I felt shame, and I apologize, Aloe. I will publicly apologize to Aloe and anybody who was offended by what I said. But I think that most of you have not had to carry a dead body, and if you have, you will know. But it's not easy.
Okay, right.
It's not easy, and it wasn't a fat joke. So, fuck you guys. Fuck you, Josh. Because you cut me off and I couldn't even say anything to counterbalance it, and I decided I'm never eating gummies before podcasting again.
Yeah, because you were high, and I forgot about
I
that.
was a motherfucker, and I felt like attacked, and I was like, literally, just don't say anything. You're acting like a fucking idiot. I just felt like my foot was in my mouth the entire episode. It's awful.
Okay, so I'm sorry we put you in that position.
You guys jumped on my back. You didn't even let me get a word in edgewise to explain myself. But, well, whatever. Now everybody thinks I'm a big fat shaming dickhead. Okay.
Nobody thinks that.
I think that. No, I'm kidding. I don't even know the whole story.
Gosh.
Well,
Aloe had made a joke about how he should have like intentionally tried to pout while he was on stage because then it would get more like he would maybe get news coverage or something. And I was like, well, don't do that because like what if just dropped dead? And the guys were like, oh, well, we'll just roll him up in a rug and keep doing the show. And I'm like, I'm thinking they're gonna like carry the rug off, and I was like, it would take like a bunch of people to fucking carry him out of there in a rug. Like, you can't just like keep doing comedy with a dead body on the stage.
Who says?
Who
says?
I don't know. You guys are fucking animals. You have to at least get him off the stage. Like, the hell?
We did pounce. I'm sorry.
You're gonna just roll him up in a rug and then just sit on him with the mic in your hand, like over here on top of the
Mark
body.
Maron and his
I don't fucking know. But yeah, I said something like that it would take a bunch of people to carry him out of there. And they were like, wow, we're fucking good. Meanwhile, I'm the only one who's ever had to lift and carry a dead body anywhere. So
wait, what?
Via work, Josh, not murderous.
Oh,
shit.
Okay. Well, I didn't think murder, but knowing your line of work now that makes sense. I was just like, it my mind went to just
literally, it takes like 6 people to move a dead body at least, and that's like
rigor mortis. Yeah.
Well, it's just awkward. It's just awkward.
I mean, it's literally dead weight. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But anyways, so I just wanted to clear the air about that. And also, I'm swearing off the weed gummies, okay?
at least during recording. But is what is like a Liberty? Because you like before this whole thing, you performed a lot. Any real specific places that come to mind?
I told you already about that in the Cedar Rapids Public Library.
Yeah, that's right. That is kind of a weird one. Wait, were you in the stacks, or were you in like a room?
It was like a giant meeting room. It was
okay.
It's like
a conference room.
All of them, all libraries have conference rooms. Like
right.
That. Yeah. Hey, chill out. My dog is
Liberty
literally
has a dog.
chewing on my toes right now. He hates doing anything that takes away attention from her. So.
What about you, Zach?
So I think the weirdest show in both locale and just experience that I think I've ever had is a couple years ago. Not my current band. It was an old band that I was in. It was a duo. We played acoustic hip hop, or electroacoustic hip hop. It was kind of an experimental thing. And we called ourselves Lady Spade, and we played a show at a campground out in where was that at? It was like just what?
Eldora?
No, it was outside of Cedar Rapids. It was like it started. It's a small ass podunk. It was actually outside of this podunk town. It was like it started with a C. It was like Cag something. I can't remember. I never been there before that day, and we were supposed. It was us and like a handful of other like rappers and stuff. And I mean, it was fun, but like when we got there, like they were supposed to supply all the PA stuff, and we ended up having to use our own ass PA thing because somebody didn't the person that was supposed to bring the mixer didn't bring it, or they didn't show up or something. And there was people walking around literally half naked, and it was very
Sounds
ish.
hot. I'm into that part.
And that was weird. I just didn't expect it. I was like, oh,
Right.
okay, cool. But I mean, this chick's walking around with her titties hanging out. I'm like, I'll see some titties. I don't care. But
Free titties.
I'll see some titties.
yeah. But no, it's I don't know. It wasn't as organized as I thought it was going to be. But I never played a campground before. It was just I thought it was going to be this. They were like, hey, I want to play this show, and it was just some dude that we never worked with before, but we're like, yeah, well, show, sure. And yeah, it's at this place, and he sent us the address, and it's like, this is a fucking campground.
Hey.
And the worst part was about it though, is that we were promised payment, we actually never paid.
Oh fuck.
And normally I'm not that big of a stickler on that, but it was about an hour and a half drive, and that's when I'm like, okay,
You should at least reimburse for gas or something.
Yeah, and
Free meal, something.
We made a lot of friends that day. We made friends with
the real payment was the friends you made along the way, is what you're trying to say. The real reward.
Free titties.
Free titties.
Yeah. Free titties. So
Free titties.
I was like, all right, fair enough. But no, actually, we did make quite a few connections. It was pretty cool. This rapper that came out of Chicago that they brought in goes by JJ Fiction. Super cool guy. We actually got him when we made our album for that band. We actually got him to do a feature on one of our tracks because.
Nice.
We made good friends with him during that event. That was the cool thing that came out of it. But the whole in the moment, we're just what the fuck is this dumpster fire?
There and I assume there's a connection between people who don't know each other but are put in a shitty situation, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. Well. Yeah, well, Zach, you need to be going pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
I got about probably 15 minutes.
Okay. But... Well, let's just go ahead and go through all the places people can find you and everything you got going on, because you've got a lot going on. So just
yeah. So the main thing that. So I talked about earlier, Wasteland Active Radio, our podcast / audio, whatever you want to refer to it as, that could be found just about anywhere you can find digital audio. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can find our Facebook. It's Wasteland Active Radio on the Facebook and everything. We're known as Wasteland Act Radio Revival because that's literally what it is. It's a revival of an old project. Most of the time, though, if you look up Wasteland Active Radio, you'll find us. But yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we run the gauntlet on online services. But yeah, we also have a website, wastelandactradio.com. We actually just recently revamped it. So you can actually go on there. You can learn a little bit about the show. You can actually listen to all of our episodes on there as well. And we have a merch store.
No.
Okay, tell me how you really feel, Liberty.
Wow,
Sorry,
Liberty.
my dog shooting on the table leg, guys.
It was just good time.
It's just like
I was like, damn, I'm a little.
We have a merch. No.
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
No merch.
Liberty just fucking hates merch.
I love it. Get all merch, guys. Buy every bit of his merch and then give me it. Give me some.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got a merch store. We got like t-shirts, and all sorts of other fun stuff, based around our story. And but yeah, we just launched our third season. So it's up on that launched this past Wednesday, and all subsequent episodes come out every other Wednesday. So it's we kind of have a thing. It's #Wasteland Wednesday.
Hey.
And but yeah, so the 29th is when our next episode is coming out, and we actually have some special guests joining us on that on that day. And so I'm not going to give anything away right now. It's still a little early
Come on, just
but
a little teaser.
I'll say our guns really like to play Dungeons and Dragons. So
Hey.
But yeah, so definitely check us out on our Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff for updates on our episodes. Now, but as far as the band goes, we also got Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. It's the Zachary Daniels Band.
Right. And you can listen to the music on Bandcamp.
Yes, and you can. We've linked that all through our Facebook and everything like that, so you can. We try to make it as easy as possible to find our stuff. But yes, our Zachary Daniels Band. You can find our music through Bandcamp, and you know, we're also on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. But if you want to buy physical copies of our CD, definitely hit up Spicoli's for those until we can get physical shows going again.
Right. And our business of the week, although I think we already did it, but might as well do it again because it's a different thing now, should be Spicoli's, because we talked about it a lot. And, just I didn't know it was back in any form. So just to get the word out that, Spicoli's is back would be great. So anything else, Zach, real quick?
That's it for me.
Okay. Liberty, Aloe, you got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to give the number for Kim Reynolds. Okay, so to call Kim Reynolds and tell her that we do not think that we should be open schools, the phone is 515-281-5211. You tell them, hey. And you press 7 when it prompts you, and you'll be able to talk to a person. So,
and
I just wanted to mention that.
I'll put that in the description.
Come here.
Aloe? No, you good?
Oh, ow.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we got to get going because Liberty's dog is.
He's furious right now. He's literally, he just stretched out, put both of his paws on my feet, and then dragged them back, off my feet. It hurt. He's got claws. Dogs have claws.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Zach, again for being on.
Thank you, Zach. This was fun. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And I'm Josh Pfizer.
Peace out, Rudy Bell.
Hello.
And I'm Zach.
Yep. Thank you for joining us in the lounge. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Good night, everybody.